After an eventful weekend in Suzuka, where the Japanese Grand Prix took place, it has become very clear that Formula 1 is in danger. Their stars on track aren't happy, the fans are complaining, the organisation is gaslighting, and above all, the new regulations are dangerous for the driver's safety. F1 really needs to put in some major changes before it's too late. I'm Wimbo, here's 3 seconds to leave a like. Let's start with something the organisers have already changed a little bit. During qualifying, the permitted energy recharge was lowered from 9 megajoules per lap to 8 megajoules per lap. This was done to have a better balance between energy management and driver performance. They thought it would reduce the need for super clipping, where cars stay on the throttle to recharge on straights or something like that. F1 got too complicated for my simple brain. You'd think that if drivers had full batteries the whole time, with set places to deploy, it would be easier, and speeds would stay the same instead of the heavy drops. But more about that later. The FIA hoped this would restore qualifying into its natural form, where drivers go balls to the wall flat out for one lap to set the quickest time. Well, Charles Leclerc was very vocal about his qualifying after the race. He said, "I honestly cannot stand these new rules for qualifying. It's a fucking joke. I go faster in the corners, get on throttle earlier. For fuck's sake, I'm losing everything on the straight." It's clear Charles is not a fan. He went further than that. It's very frustrating because coming into Q3, at least myself, and how I approach qualifying since forever, you go into that last lap and you try things that are a little bit of whatever you've tried before. When you do that, the system needs to re-optimize everything while you are driving basically. For some reason, whenever I get to Q3, I start losing time in the straights. So I make time in the corners, I lose time in the straight. This is very frustrating. After all, you never really put a lap together because you're always compromising one thing for another, and that's a little bit frustrating, but it's the way it is for everybody. He explained that there's no point in taking risks anymore, because if you have a little snap, everything resets and you ruin your whole lap. It's clear that this is ruining the joy of seeing these world-class drivers wringing the neck out of the car to get into a better position. The new rules have accomplished that when every driver sets a lap that the car is capable of, they finish in the order of the strength of the engine. Be prepared to see 2 Mercedes drivers and 2 McLaren drivers in the first 2 rows the rest of the season. The only thing that is making a difference is reliability. But these things always sort themselves out fairly quickly. This is definitely something that needs to be fixed. I doubt people all over the world will set their alarms for an engine parade during qualifying. Drivers will get sick of it too. And that's danger number 2. I made a video on this subject already, but F1 is close to losing a few of their biggest assets. Fernando Alonso just became a father, and his team is struggling. So it wouldn't be a surprise if he quit at the end of the season. Seeing his age, this isn't that strange, but he does always bring something cool to races, especially if he's competitive. He stated that these cars are easy to drive. His chef from the kitchen could manage it. Now, the technical stuff is difficult, but the slower speeds in the most difficult parts are what he's referring to. He is one of the many drivers criticizing the regs. Carlos Sainz and Lando Norris voiced their grievances as well. One driver who was critical at first and then got a podium, so he changed his mind, was Lewis Hamilton. He was clearly trying to find the right words in an interview with Rachel Brooks for Sky Sports F1. I think he's not that happy anymore, but he can't go back on his word. He is also a driver who, if he keeps getting beaten by his teammate, and if he keeps finishing in P6, will retire. Now, I haven't always appreciated his skills. As a Max fanboy, it's sometimes hard to do. But after seeing Lando Norris winning a championship in the fastest car, I realized there are levels to how that can be achieved, and Lewis Hamilton may have had a few dips in his championships winning seasons, but when he was on it, there was no stopping him. He has a huge fanatical following, a large group of people who probably won't stay if Hamilton quits. This will have a huge impact on ticket sales, as I've stood close to the podium for driver Q&As in Zandvoort in Austria, and the majority of fans had 44 merchandise on, So if a driver like Hamilton can't make the difference in the car anymore, it's very likely he'll say farewell. Just like F1's main man at the moment, Max Verstappen. He had a rough weekend, where he had concluded that after qualifying he needed to overthink things. When they asked him what he needed to think about, he said life. After the race, Telegraaf reporter Eric van Haren came out with news that Verstappen is officially considering quitting after the 2026 season. He is frustrated with Red Bull's performance, but mostly with the regulations. He said in an interview that occasionally he doesn't mind finishing P7, but the way to get there, the driving, is what he hates. He complimented Gasly and gave him a wave when he came sailing back past when his battery was depleted. I think I know what Verstappen is like, and he's not the type of person to stick around and moan about the same thing over and over. If the organizers don't make some significant changes this season and for 2027, he's out. He has too many other things to do, and dreading going to 24 race events all over the world is something he won't do. So this is also something the FOM is risking if they don't intervene soon. They have the new manufacturers locked in already. They won't leave because the sport is too profitable. So change the bloody rules. For our enjoyment, but also for safety. The Formula 1 drivers have been warning about a few things for a while now, one of them being the bad starts, which could lead to a huge crash if one of the cars barely moves and the cars behind need to dodge them, and the difference in speed when recharging before corners. In two incidents, both of them involving Franco Colapinto, the drivers were proven right. Colapinto miraculously managed to prevent a crash at the start in Australia when Liam Lawson didn't come off the line, and in Japan things went horribly wrong for Oliver Bearman when the Argentinian recharged rapidly and Bearman had to make a maneuver to prevent the crash, resulting in him crashing into the barrier, causing a 50G impact. Luckily, he got away with only a badly bruised knee, but that could have gone much worse. It just shows how poorly these regulations are designed. And the more time goes on, the more I wonder who signed off on this shit. News just in, that the FIA will investigate the crash. They posted a statement about it. To me, it's incredibly hard to believe that even after all the warnings, the organizers just go ahead with everything, and then find out the hard way. They don't seem to mind people saying, "I told you so," when they posted the pole lap of Antonelli depart before 130R with the super clipping. It couldn't be shown due to a technical error, which led to a bunch of conspiracies. So do you think F1 is gaslighting us? Let me know in the comments. In any case, F1 is not in a good place right now. The shitification is going full steam ahead, and that worries me as an F1 fan. So what are your thoughts on the state of F1? Leave a comment, and if you enjoyed the video, please subscribe. It really helps. Take care now. Doei doei.